video, we explored the layout settings of Elementor Flexbox Container, the direction, the alignment, the wrapping, which shape the overall structure of your design. Now, in this video, we are moving into the advanced setting. This is where you get more control to fine-tune your design beyond the basic structure. And once you learn the settings, you will be able to design the layouts that look modern but are actually super easy and flexible behind the scenes. So let's get started. Okay, so all these advanced settings work on single container or widgets as well, but these make much more sense when we are building with child containers or multiple nested containers. So for that, let's quickly grab a pre-built nested container structure from here. And there we go. Now, to make things clear, I will give my parent container and these two child containers different background colors. This way, whatever settings I will be applying on them will be very much clear and obvious to you. Okay, and done. Magic. Okay, now I would drop in some elements too. And done. Now click this main parent container, go to the advanced tab, and first we get margins. So margin means giving your container space from the outside, basically from its surrounding. For example, as you can see, we have these two containers side by side, but they're stuck to each other, right? And also the space at the left is tight. In that case, go to that container you want to give space. In the advanced tab, unlink the margins and add your desired value wherever you want extra spacing, like first here on the right. And look, instantly there's space created between them. Then let's try some value on the left and see. And then of course, same for the top and bottom sides as well. Next up is padding. So padding gives space inside your container, between the container edges and the elements inside it. Think of it as a breathing room. So just unlink it. And for example, you can see that now my heading looks like it's sticking too close to the top edge of my container, right? So all I need to do is add some value at the top. And you can see now there's clear space between the element and the top edge in the container. Same for the bottom, and even to give some cushion to your element from left and right. So basically, these margins and paddings become super useful when your containers uses different background color, because without the spacing, the color makes the containers look blended into each other. But if your background is plain white, most of the time you don't need to do much. Okay, now let's move on to the align cell. So this setting lets you adjust the position of one container's content compared to the other, and that too without touching the margins and paddings. But there are two conditions. First, your parent containers must have some extra height like this, and your child containers should actually have some elements or widgets inside them. Don't worry, right now it may look like the child containers height has also increased, but they will automatically adjust their height based on the elements inside. Now, watch this. Let's say I want the content in this child containers to stay at the top and the content in the other child container to be at center. So instead of guessing with margins or paddings, I just go to this child container, go to the advanced tab, align cell, and switch its position to center. And instantly, it moves exactly where I want it. And this heading at the top, perfect. See how easy that was? Just one click. Pretty useful when you want that zigzag sort of pattern. Next is the order. So this one's quick. Let's say you built your design, but later you realize, oh no, I want this column on the left instead of the right. So instead of dragging and dropping around, change the order number and Elementor will swap them instantly. Super quick, super easy. Okay, then comes the size option. So this controls how much the element will expand or contract based on the available space inside its main container. Okay, a quick note. I'm going to show you how to use this option on widgets inside a container and not on the child containers, because it's simpler. And once you get it here, using it on the child container will be a piece of cake for you. Okay, so first let's delete this container and drop a new one. Now see this. Here I have a main container at full width, and inside it I have two widgets, a logo and a menu. Now, as you can see, they are sitting next to each other but kind of squished in the middle. But I want my logo to stay here at the left and this menu here on the right. So normally what would you do? You would go to the logo, add some paddings on the right to push the menu further away. Keep adjusting and adjusting until the menu hits the corner, right? And then when you check it on the tablets or mobiles, it's all messed up here. And you would have to fix it and make it responsive screen by screen. But with Grow, it's much easier. Just click on the logo, go to the Advanced tab, under Size, just set it to Grow. And this would command your logo widget fill up any leftover space in the container. And as a result, it automatically pushes the menu all the way to the right. And the best part, it stays responsive on every screen size without you adding any extra margins or paddings. Now, let's make it a little more interesting. Suppose you want another widget here, maybe a search widget right after the menu. Now, if I check on smaller screen, you will see the menu gets disturbed again. It starts wrapping or breaking because the space is tight. But what I want is no matter what screen size, my logo and my menu should stay in their proper position. But I can afford the search widget to shrink if needed. So here's what I'll do. I will keep the logo on Grow and then same, go to the Advanced tab and set the menu to Grow. Then I will set the search widget to Shrink. Now watch this. When I switch to smaller screen, the logo and the menu remain stable in their horizontal and proper position. And instead, the search widget will automatically shrink itself to adjust. Even if I added more elements later, like this icon, the logo and menus won't be disturbed because the search widget knows I'm the one who should compress first. And that's the beauty of using Grow and Shrink correctly. You're letting the container do the smart work for you instead of manually adjusting the margins and paddings everywhere. Tell me something better and quick than this. Now let's explore something even more interesting. The position feature. It gives you the freedom to take your element out of its default placement and move it anywhere on the page. See this element which is inside this container. If I check its position, it is on default, which means the element is in the normal flow. It stays in its original placement as we scroll the page. But what happens if I set this heading to absolute? See, this image has now broken out of its normal flow. It's free. I can place it anywhere I want inside the page according to my design need, either by dragging it or sliding this vertical and horizontal position here. Then we got the fixed option here, and if I choose this image to fix and quickly adjust its position and maybe reduce its size a little. Now check this out. No matter how much I scroll up or down, this element stays fixed in its position. Super useful for things like sticky logos, floating buttons, or even a chat widget that always stays on the screen. Okay, then we have the Z-index. Z-index is all about the layering. Sometimes in our design, we want elements to overlap each other. For example, if I duplicate this testimonial, just see this. The image has gone behind the testimonial, but I actually want the image to appear on the top. So what do? I just select the image. Let me select it from the navigator. Go to the Z-index and increase its value. And there you go, the image is now layered above. So simple and quick. Now this Z-index feature is also very useful when you make the whole container absolute or fixed instead of just the widget. Like here, if I made this image container fixed, now when I scroll, the container goes behind this section. So what do? I just open this container setting in the Advanced tab, increase the Z-index, and done. Now it's showing on the top. You can use this for so many design needs like stacking text over images, overlapping sections for modern layout, or even creating depth with layered background. I just showed you a simple example so you get the idea. Alright, now let me show you something a little magical. So sometime when you set an element to absolute, for example, if I make this image absolute and try to place it in a way that only half of it is visible on the screen, what happens? It actually increases the width of my section, or I should say, it increases the width of my main container. And of course, we don't want that. I only want this element to stay inside its main container without messing up its original width. and nothing appeared outside this main container. So here's the trick. I will select this main container because of course I want nothing outside of this container. Go to the layout tab this time, open these additional options. You will see overflow. You get different choices here. Default, which means anything that goes outside this main container will stay visible. If I select it to the hidden, which means whatever goes outside the container will be cut off. See that? Extra part disappeared. And just to be clear, this overflow setting only applies to the container, not to the widgets themselves. Alright, that's a wrap on Elementor Flexbox Container Settings. With the settings, you can design the layouts that look modern, stays flexible, and never breaks the structure. So master these Elementor Flexbox Container Settings and you are already ahead of many Elementor users. Now, if you find this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and turn the notification on so you don't miss any more helpful videos like this. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next.